When you focus on yourself, something incredible happens. You begin to unlock a level of growth and potential you didn't even realize existed. The problem is, too many people spend their time looking around, wondering what others are doing, seeking approval, and measuring their success against someone else's. But here's the truth. The only person you need to compete with is who you were yesterday. The only validation that matters is the one you give yourself. You see, growth isn't about impressing others. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And that starts with discipline, commitment, and an unshakable focus on your own path. It's easy to get caught up in external opinions, to worry about whether people approve of what you're doing. But let me tell you something. Other people's opinions don't pay your bills. They don't put in the hours for you. They don't wake up and chase your dreams. So why let them dictate how you live your life? The moment you stop looking for validation, something shifts inside you. You start doing things because they mean something to you, not because you need applause or recognition. And that's where real power comes from. The people who achieve greatness in life aren't the ones constantly talking about what they're going to do. They're the ones working in silence, improving themselves day in and day out, and letting their results speak for them. But most people never get there because they're too afraid of what others might think. They hold themselves back, second-guessing every move, worrying that if they take a step forward, someone will have something to say about it. Let me make it clear. People will always have something to say. No matter what you do, no matter how successful you become, there will always be someone with an opinion. So you have two choices. You can waste your energy trying to please everyone, or you can put your head down, focus, and make things happen. And here's what happens when you choose to focus on yourself. You start seeing results. When you put all that wasted energy into your own growth, into developing your skills, into mastering your craft, things start to change. You become stronger, more confident, more capable. You stop worrying about the noise around you because you're too busy making progress. That's when the right people start noticing, not because you went out looking for attention, but because your growth becomes undeniable. You become someone who walks into a room and people can feel the difference in you, not because of what you say, but because of how you carry yourself. That's what happens when you focus on yourself. That's the power of growth without external validation. But you can't get there if you're always looking over your shoulder, if you're constantly seeking approval, if you're waiting for permission to go after what you want. You have to give yourself that permission. You have to decide that your growth, your success, and your future are worth more than anyone's opinion. So today, make the choice to focus on yourself, not just for a moment, not just for a day, but every single day. Block out the noise. Stop seeking validation. Put in the work and watch what happens when you finally commit to becoming the person you were meant to be. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you have, but most people don't know how to use it. They feel the need to announce everything they're doing, tell the world about their plans, prove to people that they're making moves. But the more you talk, the more energy you waste. The more you reveal, the more you invite opinions, doubts, and unnecessary noise into your life. You don't owe anyone an explanation for what you're working on. You don't need validation before you take action. The strongest people in the world aren't the ones shouting about their goals. They're the ones quietly executing, staying disciplined, and letting their results do the talking. When you move in silence, you protect your vision. You don't give people the opportunity to plant seeds of doubt in your mind because, let's be real, most people won't understand your dreams. They'll project their own fears, their own limitations onto you, not because they're bad people, but because they see the world through their own lens of what's possible. And if they've never done what you're trying to do, they're going to tell you it can't be done. But here's the thing. It can be done. It just doesn't need to be announced. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your job is to stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep your energy locked in on your goals. Too many people fail because they let outside voices get in their heads. They start second-guessing themselves, wondering if they're on the right track, letting the doubts of others become their own, and before they know it, they're hesitating, holding themselves back, and losing momentum. That's why silence is your secret weapon. When you keep your moves to yourself, you stay in control. You're not distracted by opinions. You're not explaining yourself to people who don't get it. You're simply putting in the work, making progress, and keeping your energy where it belongs, on your mission. Think about the most successful people in the world. They don't talk about what they're going to do. They just do it. By the time the world sees their success, it's already done. That's the mindset you need. Work in silence, build in silence, win in silence, and when it's time, Let your success speak for itself. Because at the end of the day, people don't remember what you said you were going to do. They remember what you actually did. One of the biggest traps people fall into is comparison. It's so easy to look around and measure yourself against where other people are, what they have, what they've accomplished. You scroll through social media, see someone driving the car you want, living in the house you dream about, taking trips to places you've never been, and suddenly, instead of feeling inspired, you feel like you're behind, like you're not doing enough, like you're somehow failing. But let me tell you something, comparison is a losing game. No matter how much you achieve, if you're constantly looking at someone else's life, you will never feel like it's enough. Because the truth is, there will always be someone who has more money, more success, more opportunities. If you focus on that, you'll always feel like you're coming up short. But here's the shift you need to make. Stop looking at what everyone else is doing and focus on your own race. Your path is yours. Your journey is yours. It doesn't need to look like anyone else's. The moment you take your eyes off your own progress and start worrying about someone else's, you lose momentum. You stop moving forward because you're too busy looking sideways, and that's when doubt creeps in. You start questioning yourself. You start thinking, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should be doing something different. And that's dangerous because the second you let doubt take over, you hesitate. You slow down, you lose focus, but when you stay locked in on your own path, none of that matters. It doesn't matter what someone else is doing because you're too busy building your own success. You're too busy growing, learning, getting better every single day. And that's the only thing that should matter. You have to understand everybody's timeline is different. Some people hit success early. Others take years to get there. Some people start with advantages you don't have. Others have to fight their way up from nothing. None of that should concern you. The only thing that matters is that you keep moving, keep improving, keep showing up and doing the work. And let's be real, half the time, the people you're comparing yourself to aren't even showing you the full picture. Social media is a highlight reel. People show you the wins, the perfect moments, the filtered reality, but they don't show you the struggle. They don't show you the failures, the sleepless nights, the self-doubt. They don't show you the times they wanted to quit. And here you are, comparing yourself to an illusion, thinking you're behind when in reality, you're exactly where you need to be. The only person you should be competing with is the person you were yesterday. That's it. Wake up every morning and ask yourself, how can I be better than I was yesterday? That's how you win, not by chasing someone else's version of success, but by building your own. So stop looking around. Stop measuring yourself against people who aren't on your path. Stay focused on your own journey, keep pushing forward, and trust that as long as you keep working, your time will come. Energy is everything. Where you put your energy determines what you create, what you achieve, and ultimately the kind of life you live. But most people waste it. They waste it on things that don't matter, on people who don't support them, on arguments that lead nowhere, on trying to explain themselves to those who will never understand. And then they wonder why they feel drained, why they feel stuck, why they're not making the progress they want. You have to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Every time you give your energy to the wrong things, you take away from the things that actually move you forward. You spend time justifying your dreams instead of building them. You try to convince people to believe in you instead of believing in yourself. And before you know it, you're exhausted, frustrated, and no closer to where you want to be. The truth is, not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves to hear your plans, your struggles, your vision. Some people only exist to distract you, to doubt you, to make you question yourself. And the moment you give them your energy, you slow yourself down. You stop focusing on what matters. You let their opinions take up space in your mind, and suddenly you're fighting battles that aren't even yours to fight. You don't need to defend yourself to anyone. You don't need to explain why you're working so hard, why you're making certain sacrifices, why you're choosing to take a different path. Let people think what they want. Let them judge. Let them assume. It has nothing to do with you. Your job is to stay locked in on your purpose, to protect your energy, to make sure that every ounce of effort you give is going toward building the life you want, not proving a point to people who don't even matter. And think about how much energy is wasted on things outside your control. People spend hours arguing online, debating with people who will never change their minds, stressing over opinions that will be forgotten tomorrow. But none of that gets you closer to your goals. None of that builds your future. And at the end of the day, none of it matters. What matters is the work you put in. The discipline you build, the progress you make when you stop giving your energy away to everything that isn't serving you. Every time you find yourself getting caught up in negativity, ask yourself, is this helping me grow? Is this moving me forward? Or am I just wasting my time? Because if it's not helping you grow, it's holding you back. And the people who win in life are the ones who learn to let go of anything that doesn't serve them. They don't entertain drama. They don't explain themselves. They don't waste their time trying to convince people who don't believe in them. They just work. They just build. They just move forward. So from now on, be ruthless with your energy. Protect it, guard it, Use it only for things that push you closer to the person you're meant to be. And watch how much faster you grow when you stop feeding distractions and start feeding your future. Most people spend too much time talking about what they're going to do. They announce their plans, tell everyone their next move, look for validation before they even take the first step. But here's the problem with that: words don't create results. Action does. And the more you talk, the less you do. The more you seek approval, the more you open the door for doubt, negativity, and unnecessary opinions that can throw you off track. Success doesn't come from making promises. It comes from execution. It comes from putting in the work when nobody's watching, when nobody's clapping, when there's no applause or recognition. And that's exactly why the most successful people don't announce what they're going to do. They don't waste time trying to convince people of what they're capable of. They just get to work. And by the time the world sees their success, it's already done. When you focus on action instead of words, you build momentum. You stop waiting for permission, stop worrying about who believes in you, and start proving it to yourself. That's the only validation that matters. Because let's be real, most people don't believe in something until they see it. They don't take you seriously until the results are undeniable. So why waste time trying to convince them? Let your success speak for itself. Think about the last time someone doubted you. Maybe they said your goals were unrealistic, that you were aiming too high, that you didn't have what it takes. How did that make you feel? Did it light a fire in you? Did it make you want to prove them wrong? Good, use that. But don't waste your energy arguing. Don't waste your breath trying to explain yourself. Just work, just execute. Just show up every single day and get better, so that one day they won't have anything left to say. Because here's what happens when you let your success speak for itself: people start paying attention. Not because you told them what you were going to do, but because they can see it. They can feel it. And by that point, their opinion doesn't even matter anymore because you've already won. The people who talk the most usually accomplish the least. The ones who are always telling you about their next big move, about how successful they're going to be, about what they're working on, they're the ones who never follow through. Because talking feels good. It gives you a false sense of progress. But real progress only happens when you put your head down and do the work. Every day you have a choice. You can spend your time talking about your goals, or you can spend your time actually working on them. You can look for approval, or you can create results so undeniable that no approval is needed. One of those choices leads to success. The other leads nowhere. So stop announcing your next move. Stop waiting for applause. Stop wasting energy on words. Put everything you've got into action. And when it's time, let your success do all the talking. When you start focusing on yourself, something incredible happens. You begin to find clarity. You begin to realize that a lot of the stress, the frustration, the noise that used to weigh you down wasn't even yours to carry. It came from trying to meet other people's expectations, from worrying about what they think, from constantly explaining yourself, proving yourself, seeking approval. But the moment you let go of all that and turn your attention inward, everything changes. You gain a sense of peace that most people will never experience because they're too busy chasing things that don't matter. Peace isn't about having a life without problems. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you're in control of yourself. And you can't get there if your mind is constantly occupied with what everyone else is doing, what they're saying about you, or whether they approve of your choices. That's noise. And noise distracts you from what truly matters. When you block it out, when you stop giving your energy to things outside your control, you free yourself. You free yourself to focus on your growth, your goals, and the things that actually move your life forward. You think about how much time and energy people waste worrying about opinions, about trying to be understood, about proving their worth to people who aren't even paying attention. It's exhausting. And in the end, none of it makes a difference. Because no matter how much you explain yourself, no matter how much you try to justify your choices, there will always be someone who doesn't get it. There will always be someone who doubts you, who criticizes you, who questions why you're doing what you're doing. So why waste time trying to change their minds? Why let that take up space in your head? Silence gives you power. When you stop explaining, when you stop reacting to every little thing, when you stop letting outside voices influence your path, you take back control. You learn to move with confidence, not because people approve of you, but because you've built something within yourself that can't be shaken. That's real strength. That's real freedom. And here's the best part: when you focus on yourself and stay silent, you start to attract the right things into your life. You stop chasing and instead you create. You become so locked in on your own path that you naturally start moving toward the opportunities, the people, the experiences that are meant for you. And when you get there, you're ready. Because you didn't waste time explaining. You didn't waste time seeking validation. You spent that time building yourself. Most people never get to experience this because they never learn to let go of the noise. They stay caught up in what the world expects of them and what people think and what society tells them they should be. And because of that, they never truly find peace. But you don't have to live like that. You can make the choice right now to focus on yourself, to block out the distractions, to move in silence. And when you do that, you'll realize that peace, clarity, and success were never things you had to chase. They were always there, waiting for you to eliminate the noise and step into who you were meant to be.